Hello and welcome to chapter 7 of Bookish Babes After Dark. Today's episode is Blood Orange by Karina Halle. So, as always, thank you very much for choosing to watch us or listen to us. If you would like to take a look at our previous chapters,
there is plenty.
There are now 6.
6.5 hours worth of content.
Amazing. If this book is not for you, obviously you can check out our previous ones, but please do stick around because there will be a book for you in future. So with that being said, let's move on to the very, very long list of triggers associated with this book. I was shocked. When I was prepping for this, I was shocked at how many triggers there are in the list. Because she writes it as a paragraph, so it looks about this long.
I didn't even read
I think it's because there's not any triggers at the start of the book.
There are.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is a content warning. I think I just glazed past it.
Yeah, I bypassed that.
So it doesn't look like a content warning because it's
I like
just
the
a
little
paragraph.
Little plague doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just glazed past that.
Yeah.
I just dived straight in.
That's not a necessity to me, that.
So we have explicit language and graphic sex, obviously.
Of course.
Graphic violence, pregnancy loss on page, blood, murder. Murder?
It's murder.
Murder.
Judas.
Death of a spouse. We've got MF, non-con. It's minor, not between the hero or heroine. Dubcon, exhibitionism, BDSM light elements, breath play, fire play, blood play, cum play, anal play, instrument play, impact play, primal kink, chasing, bondage, degradation, praise kink, and feeding, vampire style.
Yeah, I forgot about all of that. You're reading through it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Did I read that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I did.
And I enjoyed it.
Yes, twice over.
So the blurb. My heart will always find yours. Dahlia Abernathy has only known revenge. When her parents were killed at an early age by vampires, Dahlia spent the rest of her life under the thumb of the Witches' Guild, being trained to kill them. Her latest mission sends her undercover to a prestigious music academy in Venice, Italy. Her goal? To kill Professor Valtu Aminoff, her teacher and the notorious vampire who inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Delicious.
But getting close to a dangerous vampire like Professor Aminoff is one thing. Falling for him is another. With Dahlia's appearance disguised under a glamour spell, Valtu has no idea that the woman who has become his new dark obsession is actually the reincarnation of the woman he loved and lost twice before. And Dahlia doesn't remember that the very man she has been sent to kill is the love of her life. Will their love come through and transcend time once again? Or are the fated lovers destined to let history repeat itself?
That's such a good word.
I know! I thought that.
Yeah.
I love Valtu.
I know.
I don't know what it is about him.
It's because he's a vampire.
Well, yeah.
No, there are some vampires that, like, I've read a vampire book. I can't remember what it was called. It was by Jade West.
Not Tickle Your Pickle.
And it was quite similar. And, like, there were some parts of that. Like, for example, they would... I can't remember what it was called. But they would put the fangs in either side of the clit to feed. Like, that was mental.
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake.
And it's called, like... it was called something specific. I can't remember what it was called.
Sucker.
Sounds like a great name for a band.
And it's written in that font that you can't read.
Yeah. But I wasn't overly thingy with that one because I read that after I read this for the first time, and then was like, meh.
You've had a good touch of
and then I read this
vampires
again
in that.
and was like,
I think it might be because of how Valtu is.
Yeah.
She's written him so well.
He's just
So, for a bit of background, obviously, if you've listened to our prologue episode, we speak about how we met, and that's through our book club. Smut club.
club.
And actually, our first book that we decided to read for our smut club was Blood Orange.
It was.
So we read this back in, was it like, I'm sure it was like November.
No, it was
October,
earlier than that because it was still warm outside.
I was reading this on the bus to work when I started my new job in Manchester.
Ah.
It was that first week, so we were reading this the 4th week of the 4th of September 2023.
Full circle, my dudes.
Full circle.
And we still love him just as much.
Yes, we do.
And so we thought we have to include this on the
We've
pod
got to
because
bring it back.
It's just got like a bit of a special plate in our splits.
It's on a special plate.
It's on a special plate.
It's on a
In our
serving
hearts.
plate.
No, it's on them decorative ones that you keep in like.
That you can't
Yeah.
put anything
Can't
on.
put anyone.
No. They're generally quite ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
bad.
yeah, we thought we would include it. So, with that being said, and I know it's a reread, so if your rating changed from the first time you read it to the second time, I think we should include it. But what were your...
You go first. What was your rating?
So, I rated this a 4-star, both the first time and the second time. I have questioned whether I would actually consider this a 5-star read on the second read, because I just think... Like, you guys know me, I hate rereading books, and if I had to reread them, like, for the pod, like, have I had to reread one? I'm sure I have. Maybe.
Come out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was a bit meh on the fact that I had to reread it, but because of that book, it was kind of alright. But generally with rereads, I fucking hate it.
I do struggle with rereads.
This, I think I ate this up more
The second
time than the first time. So I think maybe a 4.5 for the second one, actually. If I really think about it, it's really close to a 5-star.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, and I won't give it one. There's no reason.
Yeah, I was a bit like that with it. Like, I gave it a 4.5, and I was like, why can't I give it a 5?
I was also 4.5. I think the reason I couldn't give it a 5 is the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Major cliffhanger.
Yeah. And even though I've read the second book, and I know what happens, I'm still just like...
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? What? I know you want me to read your next book. I'm going to read your next book. But
you didn't have to do me dirty.
You didn't have to do that.
Like most readers nowadays, if you start a series and you love it, you will continue regardless of what the ending of the book is.
Either that or you
just will.
You just buy the whole series.
Yeah.
And
You'll
not
buy
read
the whole
first book.
series before you've even read it.
Yeah.
I do that.
I do that.
Yeah, I did do that as well.
I brought the box set.
I bought the whole thing.
I've done that with Throne of Glass.
Without knowing
8
anything.
books.
Oh.
That's too much for me, that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
But, yeah, so I would say 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, can we just take a minute for the
cover?
The cover is
this
gorgeous.
book is absolutely stunning. And Black Rose, which is the second one, is just
as pretty.
But her other two are Black Sunshine, and she's got the other one. I don't know what it is.
It's in the back of the book.
But the covers
Apologies.
stunning.
They are absolutely stunning. I will, after this, oh my god, she's got a huge list.
Yeah.
She's done a Sleepy Hollow as well.
Mm.
There are so many.
Headless Horseman.
There
we
are
also-
literally 3 pages of books.
Can we talk about the flop of this book as well?
That is a good flop.
It's 10 out of 10. 10 out
Like,
of 10 flop.
it's
an indie again.
Amazon.
The Amazon printed
They know
ones
what's
are
up.
amazing. And the feel of it, it's just all...
I do like
Yeah.
a matte cover.
I like a matte cover.
But honestly,
It is
I
nice.
honestly want to read all of her books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here it says, Karina Halle is a screenwriter, a former music and travel journalist, and in the New York Times best-selling author of The Royals Next Door, Black Sunshine, and over 70 other wild and romantic reads, ranging from contemporary romance comedies to horror and fantasy romance.
That just sounds like a lot of work.
And the
That
pictures,
does.
she's young. How's she written 70 books?
Follow her on Instagram. She's got a really cute dog.
I'm just here for the dog.
I'm adding so many of her books to my TBR. I've just decided.
I do want to read the Sleepy Hollow one because there was something about the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow that kind of made me just feel.
I can't remember anything. I can't remember because I know
And Johnny Depp in
another
that as
instance
well.
of me doing this. but at home in the group chat when you guys are talking about
love this so
and you were like
much.
Sleepy Hollow, and I was like, I have no idea what that is, so I'm just not going to message
I'm
back.
just gonna keep quiet. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Well, I'm more than happy to dip in a toe.
Oh yeah.
And see what it's like.
It's a why chooses them.
Hang on, just adding to the
runs to Kindle.
adding to the pod list. Sleepy Hollow book.
Lots of peens.
All of them in one hole.
All the pee.
One dude hasn't got
It's
a
on.
head. But he's got one down below.
He's got 1 out of 2 and somebody else is giving him head, so it makes up for it. I love how when we're doing it, we have to do it.
We have to do the tippy tap.
Computer.
So anyway,
What a tangent.
Valtu vampires. I have a couple of questions about vampires.
Go on.
So, they need blood
Right.
to survive, right? So, do you think when a human is on
The cycle.
on Shark Week,
Right.
he can just like
Would it be the same... Stop sipping. Would it be the same... Would it...
just in there with a straw, just
Freshness?
I just need a minute.
What's it sell by date?
I feel genuinely sick.
because that's where my brain went right after
Yeah.
I'd finished it.
He gets like a
Do
monthly
you know what it
treat.
reminded me of? Do you know what it reminds me of? Have you guys watched fucking Saltburn?
Yeah. Licky in your bath. Lick it like a tweed.
It's not even that scene.
It's that I'm a vampire scene.
I don't know what.
I think there's going to be a difference between like fresh.
At the veins.
So first of all, just content warning
Yeah.
for this specific
Putting it out there.
conversation, especially for men who probably like have the biggest dick right now.
Nah, because
Yeah.
I know there's some men that won't
Yeah,
fucking
probably.
do the slip-slop on that.
Slip on that. But because obviously if you use any form of cup or like anything like that, obviously it's stale. Because obviously it's been there a while, but if you just free bleed.
Just on his face the whole week.
I thought I had that vision of him underneath, just
like a tap.
yeah, and it hits that little cup.
I think you should go to the doctors if your flow's that flowy.
If it's just
my God.
It's supposed to be
out.
like a teaspoon or something, like.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
God.
yeah, that's where I wanted to get that out into the universe.
Right.
And please reply in the comments. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Do they prefer
Interesting
it
conversation
fresh,
starter.
or do they like the barbecue sauce stage?
Why did you have to ruin the one and only sauce? The one and only sauce that I like.
Do they like the smell of
End
soup?
podcast.
Please.
I'm about to go and sulk about barbecue sauce.
Well, they said it tastes like pennies. But like the best pennies I've ever tasted.
But barbecue sauce doesn't taste like pennies.
So you can just ignore it then.
I feel sick.
I don't want beer anymore.
But Valtu, he's
Anyway.
hot. Valtu's hot.
I'm done.
Because I am a die-hard vampire girly. I'm not a Twilight girly.
You're not a
and
Twilight
I don't care what
girly.
anyone
I
says.
loved Twilight when I was younger. I mean, I read that when I was like, I'm going to say like 16.
I was like that.
See,
But
whereas
I was a Buffy. I was
Yes.
an Angel. I was
Angel.
a Spike.
See, whereas like
And
I
Bram
read,
Stoker's
it
Dracula.
wasn't Twilight, it wasn't those, it was the House of Night series, and it was like marked and something else, and it was basically like YA smut, but there
Yeah.
were vampires and witches and all that. I really enjoyed it, and that's where I came into my vampire era. Forgot about them.
Yeah.
Started reading again and was like, oh shit, no, I remember that book.
See, I literally just did Twilight and Buffy. Fucking hell, you've literally just said it, my brain went...
No. Yeah. Angel and Spike were...
Yeah. And there's just something about the fact that they're 90s as well.
Yeah.
Like, it just... All vampires should remain in the 90s, in my opinion.
Other than Valtu, because he sounds hot in the 2010s.
I ain't even asked what fucking year he's from.
Valtu's got his own...
Valtu's his own thing.
Yeah.
And again, I pictured him as Tom Hiddleston.
Insert picture.
Everyone you imagine.
Insert picture. Here. Yes. Yeah, yes. It's just the way that he was described in this book.
He's tall, dark and handsome.
He's tall, dark and handsome with long black hair, with a little bit of a wave to it.
And wears a nice jumper.
And he wears quite a nice black suit sometimes. And he does the real slutty thing that a man can do and rolls up his sleeves so you can just see his forearms.
Do you know what? Forearms in a man, on a man, is very underrated.
It's like one of the sluttiest things a man can do.
Forearm
is roll his shirt sleeve up.
Do you think it's because a good forearm, a good muscular forearm means good?
100%.
100%.
They've been practicing all day long.
Why are we doing Spider-Man again? Yeah, so anyway, right, so you were 4.5.
I was 4.5.
You were
4.5.
4.5. So we would... Like, there is no real reason why it's not a 5 other than obviously the slight ending.
Yeah.
But 4.5.
I could push to a 5.
I think I could push to a 5.
I'd swing both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So, list of questions.
Go on then.
Give it to me.
This is quite plot heavy.
Yeah.
So what I would say is we're probably not going to go through the plot in depth like we normally do because there is just
There's a lot.
So much.
And I feel like it just sort of gets at the end.
Yeah.
With the plot.
It is one of them where there's no right way that you could describe what happens.
No.
Because of how much is in there.
Because there's like what?
And the whole time travel that goes on as well.
3 different timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially even a 4th if you take into. I can't speak today.
Yeah,
Take
especially on
consideration
Valtu's side of things, it's very
So
much...
obviously centuries old.
Yeah, 1700s?
Yeah.
1700s.
Do you think the time travel was done well?
Yeah, I like to look back
I liked the flashbacks in this
on
one.
how he...
Yeah.
The stuff he experienced.
Yeah.
And how he got
'Cause
to
I think-
where he is.
I think a lot of the time I have issue with like time travel kind of in
Yeah,
books
it's not
when
my biggest...
It's they carry on along the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt with this, it was very well placed that in a specific part, because obviously the blurb mentions this whole reincarnation thing. So obviously Valtu. So the vampires in this book, you become a vampire at the age of 25 if you're female or 35 if you're male.
Yeah.
21.
21, sorry, yes. 21 if you're female, 35 if you're male.
Yes.
And so you're born a vampire. You
Yeah.
can be turned into a vampire the traditional way. However, it's kind of frowned upon within this
Yeah.
Yeah,
world.
it turns you into a monster.
Yeah. So the book starts off with his...
A straight up fucking shocker.
with
Yeah.
Mina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're in,
Mina.
I can't remember what time it is. I think it's like the 1800s maybe.
It is.
It's very, very early on, isn't
Very
it?
early.
1714 in the
1714.
Kingdom of Sweden.
So,
a land currently known as Finland.
Yeah, they are in love, they're together. There's a very shocking scene
Yeah.
where she finds out she's pregnant, she tells him.
He's all for it.
Yeah, they're all for it, but her dad is like a general
He's the
type
general,
thing
isn't he?
Yeah.
from Russia.
Yeah.
And so he finds out about it.
It was a handmaiden that dobbed her in.
Yeah!
What a bitch.
Yeah, she deserves to
Fucking cow.
get it. She then...
They try to flee,
They try
don't
to
they?
flee,
Yeah.
and then her dad's men find them, and basically her dad stomps on her belly
To get rid of the baby.
and then decapitates
Chops
his
her
own
head
daughter.
And Valtu's
He
just,
just goes off in
like...
a rage.
Before she screams beforehand that my heart will always find yours.
Yes. Which is where it's like in the blurb, isn't it? It's like it says it. And then he's like, he goes, "Rah," goes
he
mad.
just fully turns.
But it turns
Full Wolverine.
Well,
Yeah.
he's 35.
Mm-hmm.
He's not yet a vampire.
No.
This happens, but this is when he turns into a vampire.
Yeah.
So that's how it starts, and then you get the current timeline, which is the whole Dahlia. She's a witch.
she's
gone to
been
Venice.
sent to
all that kind
basically
of thing.
kill Valtu at the end of the day.
And then it sort of only comes into play when certain things happen, like she'll have like a memory or something.
Yeah.
Then it goes into Valtu and
Because he's fully convinced from the beginning that he's seen her before.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he can't quite
She's
place
very
her.
much just like, no, I don't think you know.
Yeah, and he can't place her because
No.
she's got the
The
glamour on.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's trying to get in his good books.
In his
so she
good
can kill him.
graces.
Yeah.
But
It was insane. What was the second woman?
Lucy.
Lucy. That's it. And they think they're cursed because Lucy also gets pregnant and then dies in childbirth.
Yeah, but it was also the 1800s, and, you know, she said, she was like, yeah, no, my sister died in childbirth, and my mum almost died having me, because, you know,
Risky.
medicine in the 1800s ain't great.
was not the thing.
Yeah.
They hadn't
Your
got the
baby was
research
stuck.
yet. Well, it died in her,
Yeah.
so they had to
They couldn't get it
Pull
out.
it out.
Yeah.
But I really liked the dynamic between Dahlia and Valtu. Because they were both quite funny and witty.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's always got a comeback, but so is she.
Yeah.
And she was very like, but she was very hot and cold with him because she
Yeah.
was playing him essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's there
Trying
for
to
a job
reel
at
him
the
in.
end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, and her family's been murdered by said vampires. She's obviously got this grudge against him. But I think the more she finds out about Valtu, the more she's like,
He's actually a nice guy.
are they all really like this? You know, it's
Makes her question what she's been taught.
yeah, the
by
whole
the
life,
guild.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think it really starts to thingy when she does the astral projection.
Yeah.
And she goes into the
The
Feeding club, the,
the
red
feeding
room.
club.
the nice
Yeah.
little
And she-
forebode.
and she sees him being sucked off by a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she
And
makes
she
eye contact
loves
with him
that.
in the whole realm, don't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because, like, he looks up and she's like, I swear he can see me.
he saw me,
Yeah.
and I saw his
When I-
pain in another man's.
Well, to be honest,
Yeah.
she says when she gets in there, she was like, unfortunately, my professor isn't naked at the moment. And
That's a
my
shame.
like comment was, we'll see him naked soon.
we'll get there.
I'm
Don't
sure
worry.
of it.
We will.
So
So,
good,
yeah, it was fantastic. So the dual timeline definitely worked, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Which scene stuck with you the most out of all of them? Because there's a lot that happens within this book.
There is. I
A
feel
lot,
like it
yeah.
is one thing after another, after another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, you know how you get some where they're just evenly spaced out, and you knew they were building up to something. But right from the beginning, he literally says to her, "Can I kiss you?" And we're like only a few chapters in,
Yeah.
and it's like, I thought this wasn't allowed.
This is
I
forbidden.
thought this wasn't a thing.
He's your professor.
I know, and it's not even that bad. But then she's playing the organ, right? And he's like, "You play that, and I'll
I'm gonna
play
play
you."
you.
I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, that is like one of my favourite scenes.
You better press my keys.
Ding. Ding dong.
I really like it.
But he's such a romantic as well.
He is. Like,
Yeah.
I've got a bit, like, quoted here. It says, I don't want you to be ashamed of your darkness.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want you to be afraid of it. I'm not a delicate man. I'm brash, I'm volatile, controlling, demanding, and I'll always, always get what I want. What I want is your darkness to play with mine. I want to make it come so beautifully alive so that we can reveal it together. And I just put, swoon.
Yes.
Swoon.
Sold. Where do I sign?
Where do I sign? Is there a contract?
I don't even need one.
I don't think I need to.
I don't need to read the small print
No,
because I'm a bit in
because
there.
this is when they've been on their date, and he's kissed her after she's like trauma dumped onto him.
Yeah. And she's like, why the fuck is he still around?
Yeah.
He's like, he's not run away.
Oh, I've just put all this shit on him.
Why has he not run away yet?
Oh shit! It's my teacher.
Oh no.
Because then she's like, she was like, yeah, I have an exam tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go now.
And he's like,
I want you on the
he's like, so you do? And he's like, I'm guessing you should study. And then reply in her head, like her inner monologue, is like, I'd rather study you. And I'm like,
yes.
same.
Yes, I agree.
So I've got a couple of bits that I really love.
Yeah.
One of them is quite sweet. What was pink? What was that? So relationship building. So yeah, it was like a sweet one. And I thought it was really funny because obviously she's not yet remembered who she is in her past lives. And he obviously doesn't know because she's got the glamour on.
Yeah.
But he feeds from her. And he says, can I tell you though, I feel the most I've felt in a long time, years, decades. He peers deep into my eyes and there's an affection inside his depths, so poignant it feels a lot like love. It's like I tasted a universe inside your blood, a universe just meant for the two of us. He chuckles and looks away. That sounds so cheesy, I know it does, but it's true. And it is true because there's a whole universe within her blood, i.e. all of her past lives, the connection that they have, and neither of them know about it at that point.
But he has
feel it.
loved her every single time, and
feel
I just want to sob.
And then, he goes and does what he does at the end.
I know, but that's not the point.
That was like,
and then on the
bitch
flip
witch's
side,
fault.
okay, on the flip side, I've also got.
You better take
So
this
when
dick.
they're at the organ reciting thing, and they go into
With
that room
with the cello.
So he does the bow thing. So obviously with Lucy, when they first sleep together, this is back in 1800 or whatever.
The time before.
He uses the violin bow or something, doesn't he? And he basically smacks her ass with it on her first time.
Yeah.
And then they go into this room and they see that there's this cello bow, and he has the same urge to do it again, and he's like, "Oh, deja vu," because he's obviously.
It's like
thinking,
he does like a raven thing. Do you know what I mean? That's so Raven, where her eyes just like.
It was like a whoa.
But then,
and then he comes back. And he's like,
I'm back in the room.
in the room. And then, so they then sleep together, and then obviously because they're not supposed to be with each other, because
Doing the
teacher-student thing.
Of course.
So I pull out of her, breathing hard, and watch as my cum spills out of her. Fuck, she's going to get it all over her dress. That's the last thing we need. People to notice cum stains when we're on stage. I quickly dip my head down, running my tongue up her thighs and along her cunt, filling my mouth with it, the taste of our cum mixed together like the most decadent cocktail.
He has no right.
He goes, "Oh," she cries out softly and in surprise as I swallow it all up, making sure she's been licked clean.
yeah. You don't care.
This man, filthy.
He is.
Really is.
Filthy.
But
So,
he
yeah.
does it in a very tasteful way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like...
He doesn't make her feel like slutty.
icky.
Although he does call her a slut sometimes.
Well, yeah.
He does.
But it's not like,
It's not it's not dirty. It's like,
No.
it makes you like, oh.
oh,
Oh, hello.
It makes me think that,
Yes, my lord.
hello.
It's the whole my lord thing.
I'd try that.
I think it's not like, because it's not sir, it's not like professor, my
My
lord.
lord. Yeah.
It's just that it's something different.
It's not the usual sort of like pet name.
It's not.
For a
It's
man.
not
No.
sir. It's not master. It's
Daddy.
not daddy. It's not any of those. It's so unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it
But
suits him so well.
But it's the fact that he calls her like love and my
I
dove.
love
It's
that.
so old fashioned.
Yeah.
My dove, my
Yeah.
dove, and it's
so
like,
cute.
oh, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
So nice.
I want to be called a dove.
But then you know,
be a birdie.
living where we
Not a pigeon.
living
wanna be a
where we
pigeon.
live in sort of like the north of England.
Yeah.
I've noticed, like, because I was from sort of the Midlands and I've moved up to northern
Somewhere
England.
up the map.
Everyone calls each other love.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like from down, so because we're from the same place.
We're
but
from the Midlands.
I've lived up north a lot longer.
Yeah,
But so I find it weird to go back because obviously it's duck.
duck.
Yeah, again, bird names. Where did these fucking bird
I
names
don't know.
come from?
It's like when people call their girlfriends the bird. I'm like, please don't do that.
That's a Scouse thing, yeah.
Yeah.
My partner
Bird.
just says that about me all the time.
But everything.
I'm the missus.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm his bird. He says it all the time.
I just get called dickhead. Sorry, Alex.
She loves you really.
True that.
Well, maybe. I'm trying.
Maybe. So, Jord, what scene sticks with you the most?
The thing is, I can't pick. I can't pick because all the way through, obviously, when they have that first interaction of him, when he lets her in the library, and even that's still quite intimate, even though there's nothing going on.
They're just sorting through all books, aren't they?
And it was weird to see that because, obviously, you know, he has to have his wits about him around everyone, and she's very much trying to get in there, and he's just like, why don't you help me sort these books? And it's like, but you've allowed her in.
I feel like
in like a tiny little snippet way.
It was very sort of, I feel like that scene was very sort of like, it was a flirty
Yeah.
type thing, but it was like innocent flirting with the way that he was.
He doesn't like push it.
They aren't touching each other. They're on either side of the table. They're literally just doing their own thing.
But there is tension.
But it's that little. It's like
tension.
It was the eye contact. The
And
little,
that's
like
where
sort
it
of
starts. And even when he sees her playing the organ, he's very much taken aback from her.
Yeah. It's almost like they literally have an instant connection, but they can't understand why.
Why it's happening. Yeah.
And obviously we understand why lots of them they do.
There's obviously something going on, and even right at the beginning, he says something like he can feel something's happening or something's already here, and he can't quite make out what it is and where it's coming from. And then I put like the 2 and 2 together of Dahlia arriving, and he's very much just like he's still intertwined with her.
So obviously we mentioned a little bit about vampire books. Have you guys read any other vampire books? Sort of like recent, obviously we're not talking like the old stuff that we've already mentioned. Have you read any other vampire type books?
No, I've not.
No.
That makes my question completely and utterly pointless.
Okay!
I was going to say,
which one?
Where does this rank in terms of the books you've read? So we're going to go with first. Number
Love
one
it.
spot.
I love Valtu.
I watched Vampire Things before I read Vampire Things. I was a Van Helsing girly. I was a Kate Beckinsale, straight up vampire hunter.
Not seen it. Not seen it. So, I think
that's the bisexual awakening of them 3 vampires.
That was your bi awakening.
I was like,
Women.
Titties.
Titties. So, I've got one more question to ask.
Yeah.
And it rounds everything up.
Oh.
But is there anything you specifically want to mention before we round up the...
Just
the
so
book?
much that I love him so much.
We're going to speak about the last part.
I love Valtu very, 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 very much, and
I would all of a sudden got a stutter over it.
I just want to know sort of what... I know what happens in the next book, but like... I would have liked some sort of like just a sprinkling of sort of what was going on with Sarah and Alexei.
Oh yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that is a part of the book that it's mentioned a lot throughout, but you never get to any form of conclusion within this book.
It just sort of it gets to the point where they're like, oh no, he's like opened a portal to the next level, and then next minute another really hot vampire and his vampire witch girlfriend are coming over, and they're like playing house, and then suddenly
shit, it's the fan.
Literally
ties in very nicely with my next question.
Fire away.
What were your thoughts on the ending?
That hurt me. That
deep.
Yeah, it was.
If you cut me open right now,
that would be the.
Yeah,
it's just Valtu screaming over a dead body.
Because so he's got a friend. I cannot remember the names for the life of me, but he's got a vampire friend, and the partner of the vampire is a witch that's also a vampire.
Lenore.
Lenore. Yeah.
And Sloane.
Yes.
Sloane. Yeah.
Solon. And Lenore or something like that. I don't know. Something like that.
Them 2 peeps.
Around about that. So they turn up at his house, and when they open the door, she knows straight away. She can smell. Because obviously Valtu's only said that he's got vampires coming, but Dahlia can smell that she's a witch.
Yeah.
And Valtu says, oh, she's a witch, but we forgive her because she's a vampire and we like her.
Of course.
And
Swings and roundabouts.
this woman stares at her and she's like, she knows who I am.
She can see under the glamour, can't she?
Yeah.
And so she obviously doesn't bring it up straight away. There's a bit of like nicey-nicey, whatever. Dahlia starts panicking, goes inside to the kitchen. She follows her and they have it out and she says, who are you? Because she can also smell that she's a, what's the phrase? A hunter?
Slayer.
Slayer, that's
She's
it.
a slayer.
She's a slayer.
Slay.
So she can smell that.
Yeah.
And she says, like, are you here to kill him? And she was like, well, yeah, but not anymore because I now understand it. And then she tries to explain who she is. And then obviously Valtu and the other guy come in. And she says, she's a...
Your girlfriend's a witch, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so Valtu goes mad.
Yeah.
Has her by
Something
the
just
throat.
like flips on it.
Yeah. And he kills her. So he's got her by the throat, hasn't he? And just as she's about to die, the glamour drops.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's no longer got any magic. And then he sees...
It just hits him, doesn't it?
He sees she was Mina and
Lucy.
Lucy. Because obviously she looks the same. And then he realises that what she was trying to tell him was true.
Yeah, because it's the fact that, like, before, because the night before was the recital.
Yeah.
And that's when sort of, like, everything, like, clicked together for her. And she comes running out of this bathroom being like, can you not see me?
Yeah.
Can you not see me? And she's like, oh, no, wait, fuck, I've got a glamour on.
Shit, I better take this off.
You're not supposed to see me.
I must do better.
I kind of felt like at the end of it, I wanted to shake Dahlia and just be like, just fucking tell him.
Yeah.
Just tell
You've
him.
come this far.
If you come forward and you tell him, he might freak out, but at least you've told him. If he finds out another way, like he did,
There's nothing worse.
no.
She should have just straight up been like...
Should have just said
And
it.
he's there, like, screaming over her body, trying to
And
get
he tries to
his
change her
witch
and
vampire
all
friend
this.
to be like,
You need to
bro, change her.
Yeah.
And then suddenly,
Lenore's like, no.
you're introduced to a new character, and you're like, ooh, who are you? Your name's Rose. What's going on with you?
You seem familiar.
It's 21 years later. Obviously, 21
We
years.
know the deal.
Yeah, we know the deal. Vampires turn at 21. There is a girl called Rose whose family are vampires, and it's her
She's
21st
currently going
birthday
through
today.
the change.
And it just
She's going
basically
through the
says
pause.
that she goes through the change, and then she
gets, like, flash of bright, like, she drinks the blood, and then she
Yeah.
gets this, like, flash of light, and she's
Yeah.
like, oh shit, is this part
said-
of it? I don't know.
But like
said-
a whole fucking film plays in
Yeah.
front of her eyes.
says, I see all my deaths, the deaths of Mina, Lucy, Dahlia. I remember everything. The book finishes right there.
And then you get to the point and you're like, I need to read the next one now.
Because I need to know
And the
how
most
Valtu
annoying-
feels about her now.
The most annoying part of this book is that the excerpt at the end for another book is not Black Rose,
It's not.
Night Wolf.
Yeah.
So you can't
Swat.
even go to read it.
No.
But yeah, so it really drops on a cliffhanger. I mean, very annoying, because these are on KU.
Yes.
So I guess it's not that much of an issue, because you can literally just go and read the next one.
Yeah.
But generally, we do not like a cliffhanger like that.
No.
I don't.
But
anyway.
it was a
good.
well done cliffhanger.
was.
Yeah.
well done.
It when I read it the first time, it made me.
I literally.
I
up the
put
book.
down this book. I
Yeah.
picked up my Kindle and
Yeah.
was like,
I need to
second
know.
I
Yeah.
need to finish the
You can't leave
story.
me hanging like that.
Black Rose was just as good.
Yeah, I really like. Spoiler type thing for Black Rose. I really liked the sort of the well-rounded relationship of Valtu and Rose in the end of it, and the fact that he just sort of he gets his happily ever after.
He needs that.
And he needs
Because
that.
right in the beginning of
Yeah.
this one, he makes a statement sort of to himself that he wants companionship off someone, and it's like, well, she's right there in front of you,
I know.
and you can't see it.
No.
I know. So, that was Blood Orange. highly recommend it.
Go read it if you like vampires.
Yeah.
Even if you
like
don't.
the bites.
Even if you don't.
If you like the bitey.
If you like the bites.
Read it. And like we say, it's on KU, so you can read this one and also Black Rose.
Yes.
So yeah. And then we've got we're at the end of another month already.
Which is mental.
So we have our book recommendations of the month. So our top reads for each of us. This has been a hard month for me to be able to talk about, because obviously we can't talk about books that are coming up on the pod,
No.
which we've obviously already read.
Yeah.
Which, for me, a lot of the books we've read for the pod are the top books. So I'm finding this really, really difficult. But I would say I do have one which I would recommend.
Give it to us.
And that is actually Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
So I was very surprised at how much I liked it.
Yes.
So it was a golf romance. I've never read one before.
No, I've not.
I've not.
And basically it's this grumpy golf player that has had a really shit time in the past few years. He's gone from like, you know, proper top of the world kind of thing to you're a bit shit.
Oh.
And he's got this really dedicated fangirl. And his name is Wells, and she calls herself Wells' Belle.
Oh.
And
That's
she
kinda cute.
supports him at everything. And she won this competition to like have a meal with him or whatever. And because he's a grumpy sod,
Of course.
never happens. And then there's a hurricane, and she'd mentioned that she had a golf shop on the green thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called, golf course, that's the one.
That's the one.
And he was like, oh, I wonder if she's okay because of this hurricane.
Of course.
So he goes to see her and she's like, no. But then there's more to it, because it turns out it's her parents' shop, but she looks after it. They're off, I can't remember what they're doing.
Gallivanting, doing whatever.
Yeah, so she looks after it herself, but it's not been doing so well lately. So she's a type 1 diabetic, and she gave up her health insurance, and she'd been paying for her stuff outright, but she'd been spreading it out. And then she also stopped paying for the insurance on the shop. Obviously in the hurricane it was destroyed.
Aww.
So he comes and he realises all this, and he says, well, would you like to caddy for me? Because it turns out she's really good at golf.
Oh.
And it basically is their story of them falling in love. And it's just cute, because it's like, because she's got the type 1 diabetes, like her parents are sort of like helicopter parents.
Yeah.
In terms of like, everything's like, oh, you can't go abroad because what happens if you've got this, like blah 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 blah. And so she feels like she's been held back all of her life, so she feels like she's finally got her chance to kind of
Love that.
do her own
That's
thing.
so cute.
It is very cute, very fluffy, very, you know, thingy, but I was pleasantly surprised. I listened to it on audiobook and was very pleasantly surprised
That's
by
very
it.
cute.
Yeah, so that's mine. Other than the pod books, which I can't tell you about.
Yeah,
which
well,
are
that's-
definitely higher. But I rated that 4 stars, so
Yeah.
I would definitely
That's
check
pretty
it out.
decent.
Is it the one I've got 2
Give
for
it to
this?
us.
I got an audiobook one that I listened to. I listened to Evil Boys by Clarissa Wilde. I'd listened to Sick Boys already, and that was great because I was heading into I was like, oh, why choose? Let's give it a go. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Then I was like, right, I've got an Audible credit. I'll listen to Evil Boys as well. May as well carry on the series. And it's about it's 3 guys and this girl. She kills people that she finds in the dark web. She finds them, and they're all paedophiles. So the people that she kills, they think that she's a young girl that's coming round, but she's not. She just
Bit
she
like
does,
like paedophile hunters, but
Yeah.
she murders them.
she does the stabby because she's like, you need to get
That's
out of
what
my
we
system.
like to see.
And these 3 guys, they also do the same thing.
Lots of stabby.
But they do it because one of them, his parents are in prison for embezzlement, I think.
Oh.
And he needs the money to get a gang off his back. And and to save his little sister, which is like dead cute anyway. Then they go to kill someone, and she's already done it.
Ah.
And they're like, "You stole my kill, bitch!" And they throw this party. They throw this party, and she ends up like wandering off from her mates and peeping through like a little hole, like a little peephole. And one of the guys is in a cage, and the other one is whipping him, and then the other one comes behind her and does the twinkle town with his fingers, whilst they're watching. And it ends up becoming this thing where they have a deal because she was like, "You can't tell anyone that I'm a killer. Like, I'm the daughter of the principal of this university. I can't do that. I'm from a prestigious family. Like, that's not how this can happen."
Yeah.
That's very unusual, isn't it? To have like a killer that's not from like a dodgy background.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, she's got a bit of a dodgy background.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. So her mum was abusing her brother.
Oh.
And she has these like weird dreams where she kills her mum, and she was like, "But it's a dream, it's fine. I know that my dad killed my mum because my mum was abusing my brother," type of thing.
Was it her?
It was her at the end. It all sort of falls into place.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
Too late, but spoiler.
I'm gonna have to put a pause again.
Yeah.
But it ends up getting to the point where they fall in love. Like, these three guys and this girl, they all end up falling in love with each other.
The guys as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Because a lot of like Jesus, the girls fall in love with the guy and vice versa, but the guys never kind of.
So two of the guys were already like together.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Because one of them, Milo, he's the biggest golden retriever, and I loved him so much.
I do.
But he like
both dog and man.
He's a sub as well. He like submits to her.
See, I'm not a fan of that reading.
But it was quite
done
hot.
well?
Yeah, it was quite hot.
Especially if there's a bit of hierarchy in there already.
And then
she does a switcheroo, and she's a sub to the others, but he's a sub to her.
Yeah.
It's a bit like
I
might go on board with that.
And then, because the other one, Kai, he basically, at the end of the book, he has this, like, bi-awakening. And they all end up, like, doing the things together. And it's just like, oh, wow. Oh.
It's all one big dick fest.
It was.
Adds to TBR.
But it was... It's a big book, and it's a long book.
I've seen the physicals, and they are...
I want the
but
physicals.
they are
lengthy.
They are really good
Real like
books.
it when it's
My
lengthy.
mum's reading them.
If you like a Why Choose...
Mum, don't read them.
It's not reading.
If you like a Why Choose, I'd say give it a shot. And then my other one was just, it was The Trick by NJ Weeks. Because I want to climb Maddox and live in his arms.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
I thought you were going to say I want to
Live in his ass.
I thought you were going to say I want to climb him like a tree and live in his treehouse.
Know what I was thinking. Just sit on his shoulders whilst he does his stuff.
You just carry me around all day.
All day. You
do you.
You murder. You do what you need to do.
And I'll just be koala.
And I'll just sit
I'm
and
having
watch.
the best time.
And add commentary from the background.
Yeah. I will
like it.
put my stupid comments
Yeah.
alts while you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
What was
Like
yours?
The Trick is so good.
It was really good. I think that's my first NJ Weeks book, and I'm very ready now for The Trap. I think that's the next one.
Just guess.
Just guess.
Anyway, it's a toss up between the two. So
I think I know what one of them's going to be.
my first one was Cellar Gothic by Kat Blackthorne. So I literally found that off TikTok, as you do. There was literally a screenshot, a little quote, and I was like, wow, that's kind of nice.
Giggling to yourself.
So I was like, that's to Kindle. And it's basically, it is the epitome of like feminine rage. Like, I didn't think it was going to go.
You've had a couple like that recently.
I am.
The last recommendation you gave.
Yeah,
one of
it
them.
was all just, I am in the female era. Oh. But I didn't expect it to go the way it did. It sort of gives off, so the girl that's in it, she is very sheltered, like lives in this sort of church cult, if you will. Her dad's very much just like, she needs to be pure, she needs, nobody can touch her, nobody can go near her. She can't do anything that isn't keeping her as holy as possible. And she ends up being named the Holy Daughter, and obviously they sort of groom her into this perfect wife. She needs to be married off. And the whole sort of baseline rule is men are up here and women are down here. And it's very much these women that live in this convent have to take a vow of silence. They cannot speak, they cannot do anything like that, they cannot speak to other men. They're very much
rude,
sworn to silence in their whole lives. And like, without giving too much away because you're reading it,
I am. I've started it, and I'm.
She starts having sinful thoughts, as one woman does, and her father's like, we can't have that. Like, you are possessed. He's convinced she's got a demon in her. Sends her for an exorcism. He's like, you need to come back holy, you need to come back pure, you need to just be ridded of everything that you're feeling. And all the way through, it's very much the sort of, you could put it back on yourself of like, if you've ever had a man tell you can't feel the way that you feel, or you should feel dirty for the things that you do and dress and blah blah blah. It is very much like that. And she ends up on this island. She's absolutely shitting herself. I'm going to be exorcised. Whatever demon's in me, I have no idea what's going to happen. Meets said priest, Dante, and he is so forbidden and so like straight up nasty. It makes me fucking so scared. I'm like, oh my god! But all the way through it, her character development all the way through it is excellent.
She go from this meek.
Oh yeah, she starts off very much under the thumb by everybody. Even the other nuns that live there see her as a piece of shit at the end of the day. Goes to this island and she has a whole like fucking reawakening on things. Lets rid of shame that she feels about how she's feeling towards Dante. She knows it's not right, but she's very much just like, fuck this. And it is quite graphic as well. There is a lot of like slaughter scenes in it and things like that, but the ending is so good. So good.
I am very excited to.
The second one is Fiery Little Thing though.
Yeah.
And we won't tell you anymore.
No.
You'll have to wait and see.
No. Because I don't want that book spoiling.
I've got it all. It's all here. It's just floating about.
I cannot wait to read it. Like, I've been so excited. Like, every time Davina puts a post on, and I'm like, I need to.
Cohen and Blaze shouldn't be together. They really shouldn't. The only way to put it is that they're at each other's throats, and if one don't kill the other will do it to them.
Yeah, sort of like in The Trick.
Yeah.
Ah! I'm excited.
The hate is real. It's not how you get like, enemies to lovers, where there is a bit of
they full on
hate each other.
Oh, I can't wait.
I am so excited.
So when does that release?
It's the end of May.
22nd of May.
22nd.
Yes.
But she does make use of an examination table.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ooh. And a speculum again.
And on that note, that is the end
of this week's episode.
Slay.
So,
Chapter 7.
Yes.
Done. Complete.
Please, if you want to keep up to date with anything that we're doing on the podcast, on our book account, please give us a like, a follow, or a rating, or a comment, anything. You can follow and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We are always active, pretty much, and we're always willing to have an natter with you in the comments.
We love talking to you guys.
We will see you next week.
Peace
Peace out.